Good evening, Rotorua. In your news for the end of another week. High school students have the opportunity to put Rotorua's 3 mayoral hopefuls to the test. Will Rotorua see similar earthquakes in light of the recent events in Christchurch? And in sport, Rotorua driver Dean Sumner will look to keep his mistakes to a minimum. Thanks for joining us. Now to tonight's stories. Senior high school students have the opportunity to put Rotorua's 3 mayoral hopefuls to the test in a debate next week. Rotorua District Council Youth Projects Officer Jill Campbell says she is looking forward to the event, which involves present Mayor Kevin Winters and mayoral candidates Charles Sturt and Cliff Lee discussing issues submitted by young people. She says with the local body elections approaching, Rotorua District Youth Councillors have explored ways of involving young people in the process. In light of the massive Christchurch earthquake, Rotorua residents are now asking the question, how likely is it that Rotorua will see something similar? And in fact, are we on a fault line here? GNS scientist Brad Scott answers those questions.
In Rotorua Basin, directly no. But unfortunately to the east and southeast of Rotorua is what we call a Taupo fault belt, and that's sort of between Waikiki Valley and Horahora Bluffs. That area there is riddled with faults. There's a lot of very young faults through there. They trend basically from Tarawera, Okataina area right down through into Lake Taupo. They potentially will generate quite large earthquakes, and then to the north and northeast of us we have the Whakatane Graben structure between Matatara and Whakatane and Kawerau, and that was the source of the Edgecombe earthquake in 1987.
That was GNS scientist Brad Scott. Bay of Plenty homeowners are still exercising caution in the property market. The latest QV figures for August show house values across the country have continued to drop. QV spokeswoman Glenda Whitehead says it comes down to little buyer demand coupled with a backlog of unsold properties. She says some potential buyers are continuing to struggle to secure funding from banks or finance companies who remain cautious about lending for property. The Wearable Creations and Colour Awards drew large audiences during its 3-day show at the Energy Event Centre, and now locals and visitors have the opportunity to see some of the creations up close. 8 entries have gone on display in the upper foyer of Rotorua Museum, with Pride of Place, the multi-award winner, entitled One. The work of Western Heights High, this thought-provoking creation speaks of a world of alienation and judgment. The selection of creations remains on view at Rotorua Museum until the end of October. And in sport, Rotorua driver Dean Sumner will look to keep his mistakes to a minimum as he strives to wrap up the National Motor Rally Championship title this Sunday. He enters the final round of the series in the Wairarapa holding a 29-point lead. Sumner says he will do what he has to do to win the championship. He says the Wairarapa roads are technical and it can be quite hard to get into a good rhythm. Organisers have been forced to cut one special stage from the event because of flooding around Ekatahuna. Weather for Rotorua and surrounding areas tonight. A few showers, becoming fine, westerlies dying away, a low of 6. Tomorrow Saturday, cloud and northeasterlies increasing, late rain, a high of 13, a low of 10. And long range through to Sunday, heavy rain turns to showers, northeasterlies ease, a high of 16, a low of 8. And marine forecast for Lake Rotorua tomorrow Saturday. Northeast rising to 15 knots in afternoon, waves less than half a metre, rain at night with poor visibility. Don't forget Rotorua, if you missed any of tonight's bulletin or if you want to see what's happening across the weekend, head to tvrotorua.co.nz. Stay with us after the break. Steve takes another look into Conservation Week. He talks with Cherie about casting for recovery and what's on in upcoming days. Find out right after this break.